Our souls unite. We stand together through the darkest night. Though we're not the same, we stand together. We're here to make a change. We are.
Oh my gosh, that was so amazing! So I decided we needed to do music at the beginning of the podcast.
I was just gonna give you credit for this. I was like, this was a Chad brainchild.
Yes.
I was like, he said in the weekend, he's like, I've been thinking about something. And he's like, I'm not gonna tell you just yet. And because there's some changes coming to the podcast.
There are, so I just thought this was just a fun way to do it. So I was like,
which we can do
music
many more
podcast.
times. Yeah.
So-
Why not start with music? So I hadn't warmed my voice up just yet. I was like, ooh, that sounds like a 10 a.m. I was like, all right.
Now we know. So welcome back to Renee Ruth Music. We're so excited to be here today and to be having this background now. Like, why not be in the studio?
So
This
that
is
was
the
actually
studio.
a great thought
Yeah.
because we were doing both podcasts in the same space.
Yeah.
But this is like a better, like you should. I feel like we should be around all these.
We should. And all the music
All the things,
So
yeah.
yes. So it's amazing. So that was We Are One.
We Are One.
Such an amazing song.
I love it.
I love
So
it.
just so you know, like it's so funny because John McLucas is the producer. Tag him. Shout out John.
That's right.
Because he's magic. But he always says, he's like, Renee, you love drama in your music. And it's true, like I do not love drama in my day-to-day life.
Right.
Don't like it. Like I want to talk about ways that we can make our lives better, other lives better, the world better. I don't want to talk about drama. I don't want it.
No.
But when it comes to my music, give me all the drama. I must be channeling all that into like music. Because I'm like, I want the big swells and I want the hits and like that song has so many like I almost fell off my chair. My hair was in my face. I was like, love it.
So good.
Love
so
it.
emotional. No,
Yeah.
I love it. So then, where did that song come from? Like, what was
I don't think
what
you
was
know
that
the
process?
story. I don't think you know the
I
story.
don't know. Please do tell.
That's an old song.
Oh.
Really old
Okay.
song. And actually was born from, I think I might have told you this story recently. When I first started playing, I was playing anywhere and everywhere that would take me. So coffee shops and da-da-da. And this was a small, at the time in this town, a small musical community.
Okay.
And people weren't really doing like restaurants didn't have music. Like it was not part of what, now I heard decades ago in Lynchburg, that was something that they did here. Like they had live music and then it went away. Like things ebb and flow.
Yeah.
So there was this guy that reached out and he's like, hey, we're gonna be playing at, what was it called back? No, it was Rivermont Pizza. That's how old that place is.
Oh wow.
We're gonna be playing at Rivermont Pizza. They were a heavy metal, I wanna say heavy metal band. I can't even think of their name anymore. I'm so sorry, it was so long ago. But they were playing and they were like, would you like to open? And I was like, and I remember I sat there, I'm like, not my audience. At the time, I was literally just me on a piano singing my little lyrics. So I remembered that like, what was so cool about this band, if I could think of their name, was that I kind of wrote back, I was like, so you know I'm a singer-songwriter, right? And they're like, yeah, we just love all music and we just want to support all musicians and we really feel like there should be like a united front amongst musicians, not a divided front. Like why do you have to be this or be that or, you know, and there is obviously a financial marketing reason that you don't open. But what struck me was their inclusive idea. Like let's not shove these people, like let's not build walls. Let's unite, you know, as artists in this teeny tiny town. So I did open for them. and it was actually cool because everybody was there. So their audience was much like the band and they were all very receptive, very gracious. I was super nervous to play like Chasing Butterflies, which isn't recorded yet, but like little pretty song for this like heavy metal crew. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So when these songs just kind of hit me, and like one day I was sitting, you know, and I was just like, what, we spend too much time, and this is over a decade ago. I was like, we spend too much time dividing each other. You're this, I'm that, you're this, I'm that. We spend too much time focusing on differences and not looking for similarities. We're both artists. We're both trying to succeed. We're both trying to make it. Like, those are our similarities. The differences were our genres. And I thought, in my mind, I wrote that song wanting to unite musicians. Like, let's support each other. Let's not be against each other. Like, let's work together to grow our businesses and grow our music industry. No. And I think I might have played it out. This is the funny thing. I don't know if anyone's listening that's an artist, but like, I wrote it, it got played a few times, it never got recorded.
Oh wow.
And then, I want to say, it was obviously during the pandemic. Like, here comes the actually before the pandemic, not to get political, but here comes the elections. And I'm watching America just break in half. Like literally, and I say America because I'm Canadian, so I'm like, over the politics, I'm literally watching neighbors not talking to neighbors and signs in yard and people breaking signs. And I was like, Like I had that same feeling of like, why? Yes, you have to, your duty as a citizen is to vote. You should do this and that and the other. But why do we have to hate? If you feel one way and I feel another, it doesn't mean that we have to hate each other.
No.
And so that song had a whole new meaning for me. And then bring in the pandemic, and I was like, well, let's record this.
Right.
Let's remember we all bleed the same. Because everything about the pandemic was divisive. Race is against racism, religion's against religion. It was just it was the non-drama in me was like, no, we should love each other. Why? So that when John got a hold of it, because if you'd heard it in its acoustic version, I had done, what I love about John is that I didn't know how to create, it was just me and a piano, I didn't know how to create that emotion except to use the scale of the keys. So when I was up high, it was, in my mind, it was pretty and gentle, and then when you get in the low end, it was heavy and so I had ripped, so what he did is he took all those little, so you can hear the places, and he took them and created these because the lyrics, you literally by the end of the song should be able to sing with me. They're just, it's church choir. It's like chorus from church repetitive.
Right, exactly.
It's got that vibe. So by the end of it, the journey's the music, because it's that we are one in this beautiful space, and we're one when it's dark and difficult. We're one, we're one, and we should unite. Our differences should not be the thing that divides. They should be the thing that's actually beautiful. And then went on to write so many more songs about unity.
Yes.
But
So we'll take a quick step back, because when I was thinking about what we're going to talk about today, I was actually in the car on my way to the gym this morning, and I heard a song by the Dixie Chicks, who I've always loved. I mean, it just brings back so much nostalgia. And for whatever reason, the song always plays on my way to the gym, the exact same song. It's really weird. Have you recorded the entire week? I was like, is anybody actually working?
The DJ's this is the 5 a.m.
I was like, at least I know where I should be on the road at this point. But what came back to mind, which I think is incredibly sad, is that they got super political during one of their concerts. This was way back.
Speaking of.
Yeah, and it ended up being something that really collapsed their entire career. Because it was because again, my whole thing is, why are you bringing politics into your music?
Yeah.
It was something that was said, and I don't think it was planned out. I don't think it was intentional.
No,
but it was
you're
just
on stage. That's an off the cuff situation.
Yeah, and I think it was completely off the cuff, but it was something that was so divisive that just completely wrecked their entire career. And
I wondered where they went.
Yeah, and that's what happened. So what you're doing is you actually want to bring us together, get that off the table. We shouldn't even be because there's a time and place that things like that should be discussed, and it should not be in your music.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because you too. In Ireland, there's a lot of political unrest, but to a very violent degree.
Yeah.
And so they took a lot of their music from Sunday Bloody Sunday. So much of it was written, but I feel like it came from a space of trauma. Not like I'm trying to tell you what you should think politically, but I think really I have to go back and listen now, because that came out in the 80s. So brutal. That's a whole other time. But I mean, it was very well received, and I think also because the way that they wrote it, it's not like you're oh, you're talking about Irish politics. It was more this is hey, this is happening, and I think they had a more unifying front too, hey, let's not do this to each other. That's where I have, let's not do this to each other. We're gonna disagree. No, look, how boring would the world be if everybody thought exactly the same? Boring. But does that then mean that if somebody feels differently than you, we have to get to some sort of a violent space about it?
Right.
But again, I feel the same way. I don't think, it's kind of you don't go to church and talk about certain things. There's a level of I don't, in entertainment, this should be fun and happy and inspiring and encouraging, and I think that's where I took my album. And that was born actually out of the pandemic, that heavy oppressive period in history where I was we need happy things. We gotta write We all gotta unite here as humans,
Yeah.
like, and care for each other as humans, and care for each other as, you know, like, that's what all my music is about. Like, we are the same. We are.
Yeah.
We all need food. We all need sleep. Like, there are no differences there.
Yeah.
We just have different opinions.
Right.
And
we
like,
can still support each other.
and respect them
Yeah.
and have, you know, like, I don't know, get so aggressive. So yeah, I feel bad about the Dixie Chicks, and I think, you know, and it's funny because I want to say Bruce Springsteen? So during the campaign, there was conversations about artists that have politically aligned, but how they became known because they performed for
Oh, got it for that.
this president or that, you know, like, but they
Yeah.
were like performing, like, so in that sense, like, I don't even think that they took a stand politically. Passively you could have said, oh, so you're a blah blah blah.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think every artist will be like, you're giving me a stage.
Yeah, give me something to perform. Okay.
I can play. People will listen. I love this.
Yeah.
Where is it? I do think there's like, at the same time, you're not going to go maybe perform for a bunch of people that think everyone should die. Like, you
Right,
know,
well,
like
exactly.
there's a space.
Yeah.
But politics is just kind of it's a necessary evil of the world, really.
Right.
And I want to say, was it Bruce Springsteen? I should have prepared for this. But
That's
there's
okay.
an artist who, one of his something about America. If you're listening, you know what it is. But he became, like, that song became famous out of one of the election periods.
Oh,
because
wow.
he performed it, and it was kind of the election song.
Got it.
So
Okay.
I thought that's cool.
That is
And like
kinda cool.
now, fast forward like decades later, I didn't even know that happened.
No.
I just know the song. You know.
Yeah, that's so true.
Fascinating.
So, I mean, again, I think your intention behind it is going to speak volumes.
In the end, because everyone's gonna try, kind of like, we made a post about Chad and I saying, and if this is crooked, like everyone's got something to say.
Yeah.
Hey, I like your podcast, your sign's crooked.
It probably
Like,
is. It's
it
fine.
might be. We're not skilled at everything.
No,
so
and it won't stop us from talking.
it
So,
won't, because we can
right.
run our mouths. So where are the Dixie Chicks now?
They have made a comeback. So, but they had to, you know, they had to step aside for a while. So they kind of figure out what they wanted to do. But they are back. So,
Okay.
yeah. So.
And that's the other thing. I think we should champion second chances. I think people.
Yeah,
I think
that's-
we're human. Like I think people do things and didn't mean them or didn't, you know, and it gets blown up. But I mean, why not give them an opportunity?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
they
they're
want to come back and do it
talented
again.
girls.
No, they
Talented
are
girls.
amazingly.
You
So.
said we miss it.
I miss it. So then are you working on, I know you've got songs that are being released and coming out. Is this a part of a new album or is this kind of putting everything together?
So I finished an album at the beginning of the pandemic. So like 2021, I had an album done, and then this year, you know, the producer John showed up in town for like a week, and we just cranked out 7 songs.
So many
7
songs.
songs. And then it was just kind of dragging through 3 more. Like I literally just finished the 10th or 9th or 10th one. We still have one
Okay.
lurking around in case we get like because you know the briefs will come through for sync, and sometimes I see a brief and I'm like, this is so much. Like I can hear the song, I hear the words, I hear everything. Like I read it, and, like I know the song. So we have 1 more left for that. But yeah, no. So we have 2 albums, and we're kind of just releasing. We've talked about this. Like, what is that? Like we're just kind of like, let's let them have this song. Let's put this out and see what happens. Let's put this out, you know, and see what happens. So you know, talking to Minkowski because we're on his label, but he's just like, you know, if when we get signed to a major label, they get redone anyway. So
Right. Oh, that's fair.
it's just kind of like sharing the music because it's there, like
Right,
it's
it's
there.
getting
So
out
it's like,
there.
yeah, no, just. But I mean, without just like throwing music out there, we're kind of trying to like, you know, release because we just released. What is the one we released last weekend? I can't think of the name of it. Music. A Better Day.
Wow.
Music, A Better Day.
Nice.
We love. So these songs all had like nondescript names. Like the song was written, all the lyrics are done, everything's done. It's like, what do we call it? Why is it so hard to name a song?
No, it's true.
Writing the song was fine. I'm like, what's its name? It's like
I'm not
the
gonna
baby
know.
was born and I didn't know what to call it. What's its name?
Well, okay, so this is not in real time, so obviously when people watch this is
Much
not,
later,
this is not current.
whatever this is.
So, but last weekend was supposed to be Get Downtown,
Yes.
which got canceled.
Because of
It was
our
so sad.
hurricane.
It's the hurricane.
Because there was a hurricane.
No, weather.
You can't predict a
It's
hurricane.
silly weather.
It was
But
so
it's not getting rescheduled.
No.
So I kind of missed that
The
opportunity.
no rain date was odd to me.
That was
I was
odd.
like, if you have such a large event, I guess it was just too much to try and put into motion
I
over
guess,
there.
yeah, so many people. when they
Massive
were
event,
scheduled.
like the entire downtown shut down.
Right,
Would have
because
shut
it's
down.
going to get done, it's because it's going to come up on holidays, and then that like it's a little tricky to
I think all is
reschedule.
tricky.
So
So it's a next year thing.
next year thing, but that doesn't mean you don't have a show coming up.
Okay, so in this lovely space, we're gonna do a show. I don't know when this airs, but this show that we're gonna do will be on October 20th.
Yeah.
So exciting because my music mom Leslie's coming in town. And
Yay.
so she hasn't seen the space.
No.
Hasn't seen me play live in years. Because I mean, pre-pandemic was the last time she saw me play live, apart from my living room, but that doesn't count. That doesn't count. So, and it'll be your last.
Yeah, it'll be my last one here.
Here, yeah, your last in town.
Yeah.
So, lots of things.
I know. So is there a particular theme for this one? Like, do you have an idea about music yet?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
anything new
So
coming?
yes. So, and we will stream it. So could probably go find it again later.
Right.
But, no, Matthew's coming. My keyboard player is Matthew Billings, who's also a phenomenal musician, and his wife have a great little group.
Yes.
Dream Catchers. But he's gonna come tomorrow actually
Nice.
to put in all the new tracks into the tower. So it's just a question of what we have time to learn to play. But yeah, we're planning on like 1 or 2 new songs. So that will be so fun. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for this is such a great
I
idea.
know, I love this. This is so good. But you know we have to end on Fun Fact Friday.
Fun Fact Friday.
Fun Fact Friday. Okay, this is hilarious. I don't know if this is actually true, but it's too funny to mention.
Okay, ready? Google
I think
this
this is
later.
amazing.
Okay.
So, apparently the British Navy uses Britney Spears songs to scare off pirates.
That's such a loaded statement.
So,
Well, first, does Brittany know this?
I do not know if she knows this. I don't know if she should be flattered
Like,
or not, but.
To scare off pirates?
Yeah, so according to.
Is it Hit Me Baby One More Time?
It is. So.
Do they come out like this?
According to reports, British naval officers played Britney Spears songs to scare away Somali pirates off of Africa's eastern coast. Her songs, Oops, I Did It Again, and Baby One More Time are the songs that are used.
I did it again. Could you believe that? So their pirates are rolled up and it's like,
Ah.
I feel like they'd be like this though. Like,
Yeah, I thought they would like join in, but
Yeah.
apparently the rationale of playing these songs is because supposedly Somali pirates have a strong dislike for Western culture and music, which makes her songs the perfect
she
fit.
is the queen of pop.
She's the queen of pop, so.
Did she take that title from Madonna? We'll have to talk about that sometime.
But I just thought it was hysterical. Like,
They hate Western
they
culture.
hate Western culture and music,
It's
so.
extreme. See, we're talking about hating again.
Right, I
Like,
know.
let's go
But
back
I
to
was like, Britney Spears, scared away pirates.
please tell me they put on like skirts and a shirt and tie.
At least like a kilt or something. That would be scary. That would scare me away.
Someone do that video. I love it.
Yes, well, thank you.
Thank you
This
so
was
much for
great.
putting energy into
Yes,
it. Thanks for
absolutely.
joining us.
See you next week.